In 2022, Senegal won the African Nations Cup, the Under-20 Nations Cup, the Under-17 Nations Cup, the CHAN tournament comprising of players from local teams in Africa, and the African Beach Soccer Cup of Nations. A remarkable feat by one country in 1 year, which ultimately crowns them the kings of African soccer at the moment at all levels. Similarly, Morocco set a mark at Qatar 2023, becoming the first African team to get to the semi-finals of the Men's World Cup. Morocco's local league has the best performers in Africa, with its local teams winning all the CAF competitions for local teams in Africa in 2022. Also, its senior women's team was in the final of the 2023 Nations Cup, qualifying for the World Cup, while its male and female youth teams have qualified for the Under-17 World Cup, with its males getting to the final of the 2023 Under-17 Nations Cup. These feats are definitely not a coincidence or a stroke of luck. We shall delve in to unravel what these two nations are doing right that other countries in Africa need to learn from and possibly emulate. For decades, countries like Egypt with its 7 Nations Cup titles, Nigeria with its 5 Under-17 World Cup titles, Cameroon with Olympic gold and reaching the World Cup quarterfinals, and Ivory Coast with a golden generation that boasted of stars like Didier Drogba and Yaya Touré have been the top performers in Africa. Until recently, countries like Morocco and Senegal have played bit parts roles in the soccer stories of African nations doing great things in soccer until recently. We explore the unique strategies and structure these countries have put in place to lift their country's soccer to levels which we now see. Some of these strategies are not typical for African countries and could serve as a template for other countries who want to lift the game of soccer in their country. Let's start with Senegal. In Senegal, the ministry has given the Football Association the full autonomy of running its FA without interference while it focuses on building the country's soccer infrastructure, investing heavily in building stadiums and football academies. The rise of the men's senior team has been due to the antics of their coach Aliou Cissé, who is a very tactical and astute coach with the ability to efficiently read a game, and has been in charge of the Senegalese national team since 2015, fostering continuity and allowing him the time to instill his own system and style of play on the team. Beyond this, the country has been producing talent as a result of initiatives which it started in 2000. Generation Foot Academy, which was launched that year, developed talent such as Sadio Mane, strikers Ismaila Sarr and Habib Diallo, midfielder Pape Matar Sarr. A second academy called Diambar's Academy, which was launched in 2003, produced Idrissa Gana Gueye, Saliou Cissé, Joseph Lopi, and Amadou Bamba Dieng. The Generation Foot Academy covers 18 hectares and has 3 training pitches, corporate boxes, a video analysis suite, a gym, and a school to ensure players also get academic training along with their soccer training, and players are taken in as early as age 12. The real game changer is that players are supported for free, so having the funds is not a qualifying factor. A factor which has been a stumbling block for countries like Nigeria, where football academies are strictly money-making ventures. The Football Academy has a sponsorship deal with FC Metz, who transfers players to its France-based team as soon as they become 18 years old. Obviously, the efforts of academies like this in Senegal is paying off as 18 players from the academy discovered through extensive scouting and trials over a period of years presently play for the junior national teams. Senegal also runs a youth league at under-15, under-17, and under-20 level for both boys and girls in the 14 regions that make up Senegal, funded by the FIFA Forward program, which was set up in 2020. What we see right now is the fruit of over 20 years worth of work, so other countries that want to catch up with this type of effort have a lot of work to do. Next, let's take a look at Morocco. In 2014, the president of Royal Moroccan Federation, Fouzi Lekya, set up a strategy for the development of soccer in Morocco. The federation now has more than 20 international stadia, all natural grass, over 200 synthetic turf fields that meet international standards with adequate lighting and all necessary amenities. There are also 5 regional training centers and the famous Mohammed VI football complex. These facilities cover almost 30 hectares and offer state-of-the-art equipment in accordance with FIFA standards, making this jewel of Moroccan soccer one of the most important and efficient sports complexes in the world. Regularly candidate for the organization of the FIFA World Cup, Morocco has without question the best tourist attractions and facilities the African continent has to offer, with first-class infrastructure that includes accommodation, transportation, and soccer fields that meet international standards. Each first division club with an annual subsidy of approximately €600,000. The FRMF has also focused its strategy on promoting the training of managers, including coaches, but also medical staff and referees. It is this strategy that has allowed the Moroccan Championship, the Batola Pro, to be the best in Africa in terms of performance. According to the rankings of CAF member associations, since 2020, the Moroccan Championship has become the best championship in Africa, with 3 clubs in the top 10 best clubs in Africa. As mentioned earlier, last year Moroccan clubs won all the continental competitions of CAF. Morocco has also been investing substantially in women's football with the help of funds from the FIFA Forward program received during COVID-19. This fund allows the FA to make $500,000 available to each member association in order to assist women's football. Since then, they've excelled at the Women's Nations Cup, losing out narrowly in the final of the 2023 tournament, and have qualified the senior and junior women's teams to the World Cup. The future of soccer looks very bright for these 2 nations, and we look to seeing what they'll achieve in the next few years. These types of strategies and results tells us what can be achieved when a country runs football the right way. Eliminating corruption among African FAs must be a priority for soccer to grow and flourish in Africa. A credible FA helps secure funding as FIFA has many programs that could be taken advantage for the development of soccer in any nation, as the story of Senegal and Morocco shows. The provision of much-needed facilities and training of local coaches is also required to lift the game in Africa. Similarly, the incorporation of regular education into the curriculum of football academies cannot be overemphasized, as this helps the growth of the intellect of players, a factor which makes the players from developed countries generally have an edge over African teams. Soccer has evolved in Europe such that raw talent is now often not enough. The mere fact that naturally gifted teams from South America are now finding it hard to compete suggests that education of players and coaches must be taken more seriously to lift the game in Africa. Thanks for watching. If you like this video, please like, share, and subscribe. Also, please leave a comment and let us know what you think about our summation and what else African teams will need to do to lift the game of soccer in the continent.